You wake up. Before your feet touch the floor, you've already checked your phone. One notification, then another, then Instagram, then YouTube, then somehow you're watching a guy restoring a rusty wrench in a forest. 20 minutes gone. You aren't trying to waste time. Nobody wakes up thinking, today I would like to lose control of my attention. But somehow it keeps happening. And the weird part? It's not just social media. It's food, gaming, shopping, dating apps, online videos, streaming platforms, even your email. All of them are competing for the same thing: your brain's reward system. And at the center of that system is one of the most misunderstood chemicals on Earth: dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical. Not exactly. The real story is much more interesting. And once you understand it, a lot of modern life suddenly makes way more sense. So let's talk about the chemical that quietly influences what you click, what you buy, what you crave, and sometimes, what you become. Chapter 1. Meet dopamine.
Let's clear up the biggest myth immediately. Dopamine is not happiness. It is not joy. It is not satisfaction. If it were, people would feel fulfilled after scrolling social media for 3 hours. Nobody has ever closed TikTok and thought, wow, I feel deeply enriched. Dopamine is closer to motivation than pleasure. It's part of the system that pushes you toward rewards. Think of it like your brain's internal, go get that signal. Food? Go get it. Money? Go get it. Social approval? Go get it. Leveling up your character? Go get it. That motivation system helped humans survive, because a human who wasn't motivated to find food probably didn't last very long. Pretty useful feature.
Chapter 2. The Ancient Brain.
Here's the funny problem. Your brain evolved in a world that barely exists anymore. For most of human history, food was scarce. Entertainment was scarce. Social validation was scarce. Rewards required effort. You wanted something? You usually had to work for it. Today, your ancient brain is driving a Formula One car while using instructions designed for a bicycle. Food arrives in 10 minutes. Movies arrive instantly. Games never end. Apps have infinite content. And attention has become an industry. The hardware is ancient. The environment is brand new. That mismatch creates a lot of weird behavior. And by weird behavior, I mean checking your phone while you're already using your phone. The hardware is ancient. The environment is brand new.
Chapter 3. The Reward Prediction Machine.
Now here's where things get interesting. Your brain doesn't just react to rewards, it predicts them. Researchers have found that dopamine is heavily involved in learning from expected and unexpected rewards. Translation? Your brain is constantly asking, was that reward better than expected? About what I expected? Worse than expected? That's important because surprises matter. Imagine your friend says, I bought you a burger. Nice. Now imagine your friend says nothing and suddenly hands you a burger. Same burger, different reaction. The surprise changes the experience. Your brain pays attention to unexpected rewards because surprises might contain useful information or free burgers. Your brain is basically a prediction machine. And whenever reality beats the prediction, it pays attention. Because if something unexpectedly good happened once, it might happen again. And your brain really likes that possibility.
Chapter 4. Why Notifications Work. Why notifications work? Let's talk about your phone. Specifically, that tiny red notification badge. The little digital mosquito. Nobody likes it. Everybody checks it. Why? Because uncertainty is powerful. Maybe it's important. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe someone liked your post. Maybe your crush replied. Maybe it's a bank alert reminding you that adulthood continues to exist. You don't know. And that uncertainty keeps pulling attention. This is one reason slot machines are so effective. The reward is unpredictable. And unpredictable rewards can be incredibly engaging. Social media accidentally, or sometimes very intentionally, uses similar principles. Not because every notification is amazing, because some of them are. And your brain keeps checking for the next one. Maybe the next notification matters. Maybe the next one is exciting. Maybe the next one changes something. Most of the time, it doesn't. But occasionally, it does. And that's enough to keep the cycle running. Chapter 5. Variable Rewards.
Imagine two vending machines. Machine A gives you a chocolate bar every single time. Machine B gives you one randomly. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes two. Which one becomes more interesting? Usually machine B. Humans are weird like that. Variable rewards often grab attention more effectively than guaranteed rewards. This shows up everywhere. Video games, loot boxes, social media feeds, dating apps, even email. Most emails are boring. But occasionally, one contains good news, a job offer, a discount, an opportunity. Your brain remembers that possibility. And suddenly you're checking email 17 times before lunch. Very productive. Definitely normal. The interesting part is that your brain isn't responding to what usually happens. It's responding to what might happen. And sometimes, that possibility is enough to keep you coming back.
Chapter 6. The Scroll Trap. Infinite scrolling is one of the most effective attention-capturing inventions ever created. Because there is no natural stopping point. Think about a book. You finish a chapter, pause. A movie? Credits. Pause. A meal? Plate empty. Pause. Social feeds? Never ending. The next post might be boring, or hilarious, or shocking, or useful. Your brain keeps thinking, just one more. Maybe the next post is the good one. Maybe the next video is worth it. Maybe the next swipe is interesting. Maybe the next one is exactly what you're looking for. So you keep scrolling, and scrolling, and scrolling. Then suddenly, it's dark outside. And you've learned absolutely nothing except the existence of a raccoon that can skateboard. The trap isn't that every piece of content is valuable. The trap is that some of it is. And your brain keeps searching for the next reward. Because as long as there might be something interesting ahead, there's no obvious reason to stop. That's what makes infinite scrolling so powerful. Chapter 7. Dopamine is not bad.
Important point. Dopamine is not the villain. Without dopamine, you would struggle to pursue goals, learn new skills, stay motivated, or care about progress. The problem isn't dopamine. The problem is environment. Imagine blaming your car engine because you drove into a wall. The engine isn't evil. The context matters. Dopamine helps you study, build a business, train at the gym, learn guitar, practice coding, finish projects. The same system can drive productive behavior or endless scrolling. It's a tool, not a supervillain. And that's an important distinction. Because when people hear the word dopamine, they often imagine some kind of brain chemical that's secretly ruining their life. That's not really what's happening. Dopamine isn't trying to sabotage you. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. The challenge is that modern environments have become extremely good at capturing the systems dopamine was designed to support. Understanding that difference changes everything. Because once you stop treating dopamine as the enemy, you can start focusing on the real problem, the environment around you.
Chapter 8. Why Goals Feel Good.
Why goals feel good? Ever notice something strange? Sometimes anticipating something feels better than actually getting it. You wait months for a new phone. You watch reviews, compare specs, read comments, imagine using it. Finally buy it? 3 weeks later, it's just your phone. Welcome to human psychology. The anticipation often creates a huge amount of motivation. Then your brain adapts. Psychologists call this adaptation. Humans get used to things surprisingly fast. The dream car becomes the normal car. The dream apartment becomes the apartment. The dream job becomes Tuesday. Your brain constantly updates what feels normal. And that's one reason the chase often feels more exciting than the reward itself, which is both useful and mildly annoying. Chapter 9. The Adaptation Problem. Let's use a running example. A gaming setup. You want the perfect setup. New monitor, mechanical keyboard, better headset, fancy chair, RGB lights bright enough to guide ships through fog. You finally get everything. Amazing! For about 2 weeks. Then it becomes normal, and now you're looking at an even bigger monitor. Humans are incredibly adaptable. That's great when recovering from setbacks. Less great when buying things for happiness, because the feeling often fades faster than expected. The setup changes, the excitement changes, but adaptation keeps doing what adaptation does. Your brain updates its baseline, and what once felt exciting becomes ordinary. That's not a flaw. It's part of how humans work. Chapter 10. Why Junk Food Wins. Now let's talk about food. Specifically the battle between broccoli and pizza. A battle that broccoli has been losing for decades. And honestly, it's not even close. Your brain evolved to value calorie-dense foods. Historically, that made sense. Calories were harder to find. Finding food used to be a challenge. Today, food companies can engineer products that combine sugar, fat, salt, texture, flavor, convenience, all in one package. Your brain basically sees this and says, "Excellent, we may survive winter." Sounds reasonable. There is no winter. You're sitting in air conditioning. But your brain is running older software. That's the catch. Your environment changed incredibly fast. Your brain didn't. That's why highly processed foods can feel so compelling. They're not just competing with broccoli. They're competing with millions of years of evolutionary programming. And broccoli never had much of a chance. Chapter 11. The Attention Economy. Here's the big picture. Many modern companies are competing for attention, not because they're evil, because attention is valuable, really valuable. If a platform keeps you engaged, it can show more ads, sell more products, collect more data, grow revenue. Your attention has economic value. And once you realize that, a lot of modern technology starts starts making more sense. That's why so many products are designed to be engaging. Streaming services want another episode. Apps want another session. Games want another match. Online stores want another purchase. Everyone wants a little more time. Just a few more minutes. One more click. One more swipe. One more episode. One more purchase. Individually, none of those seem like a big deal. But multiplied across millions of people, they become an entire industry. And that's what makes the attention economy so powerful. Most of the products aren't competing for your money first. They're competing for your attention. Because if they win that battle, the rest often follows. Everyone wants a little more time. And there are only 24 hours in a day. Chapter 12. Why Discipline Feels Hard.
Why discipline feels hard. People often say, I just need more discipline. Maybe. But that's not the entire story. Imagine trying to diet while carrying a bakery in your backpack. That's harder. Modern environments are filled with temptations. Constant notifications. Unlimited content. Instant entertainment. Cheap dopamine sources everywhere. This doesn't make self-control impossible, but it does make the game harder. You're not fighting one distraction. You're fighting thousands. All designed by teams whose full-time job is understanding attention. Think about that for a second. Entire teams. Shorter tests. Longer tests. Different colors. Different notifications. Different recommendations. All trying to answer the same question. How do we keep people engaged a little longer? That's what you're competing against. Not just willpower. Not just discipline. But entire systems designed to capture attention. Good luck. Chapter 13. Delayed Rewards. Now let's compare two rewards. Reward A. Watch videos right now. Reward B. Study for 6 months and improve your career. The problem is obvious. One reward is immediate. The other is delayed. Human brains generally prefer immediate rewards over delayed ones. Behavioral economists call this present bias. Basically, future you sounds important. Current you has snacks. This creates a lot of bad decisions. Not because people are stupid, because immediate rewards often feel stronger than future benefits. Right now is real. Right now is tangible. Right now is easy to imagine. 6 months from now? Not so much. That's why saving money can feel hard. Exercising can feel hard. Studying can feel hard. Building skills can feel hard. The rewards are real. They're just late. And your brain isn't always patient enough to wait. Chapter 14. Building Better Loops. The solution isn't becoming a monk. Most people aren't moving into a cave. The goal is designing better reward loops. Want to exercise more? Track progress. Make workouts enjoyable. Celebrate consistency. Want to study more? Break work into smaller wins. Want to read more? Reduce friction. Keep books visible. Make the desired behavior easier. Your brain likes rewards. Work with that fact. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. The goal isn't fighting human nature.
The goal is using it. Because when good habits become rewarding, they become much easier to repeat. And repeated actions eventually become results. That's how better loops are built. Chapter 15. The Myth of Constant Motivation. The worst ideas on the internet is that motivated people feel motivated all the time. They don't. Nobody does. Not athletes, not entrepreneurs, not students, not creators, not anyone. Motivation comes and goes. Systems matter more. The guy who goes to the gym because it's scheduled often beats the guy waiting to feel inspired. Because inspiration is unreliable. Schedules are boring, but boring works. That's the part nobody puts on motivational posters. People love the idea of feeling inspired. They love the idea of waking up energized, ready to work, ready to focus, ready to improve. Real life usually doesn't work like that. Some days you'll feel motivated. Some days you won't. The people who make progress aren't the ones who always feel motivated. They're the ones who keep showing up anyway. Because motivation is helpful, but systems are dependable. And dependable beats occasional inspiration almost every time. Chapter 16. Real life example. Let's go back to our gaming setup. Imagine two people. Person A buys endless upgrades.
What's next?
New keyboard, new mouse, new monitor, new desk, new accessories. Person B spends more time improving skills, learning, practicing, building projects. Which person gets more long-term value? Usually person B. Because experiences and skills often keep generating rewards. Objects usually become normal. The setup is nice. The skill is better. That's the difference. One keeps appreciating. The other becomes part of the background. And that's why skills often create value long after the excitement of a purchase fades. The setup can help, but the person using it matters more. Chapter 17. What dopamine really means. So after all this, what is dopamine actually telling us? Not that pleasure is bad. Not that technology is evil. Not that modern life is doomed. It tells us something much simpler. Your brain evolved to pursue rewards. Modern society produces rewards at industrial scale. And once you understand that, a lot of your behavior starts making sense. You don't need to fight your brain. You need to understand it. And that's what dopamine really means. Not a villain, not a superpower, just a powerful part of being human. Chapter 18. Rapid recap.
Dopamine is not happiness, it's motivation. Your brain evolved in a very different environment. Unexpected rewards grab attention. Variable rewards keep us engaged. Notifications exploit uncertainty. Infinite scrolling removes stopping points. Dopamine isn't the problem. Understanding it is the solution. Humans adapt quickly. Attention is valuable. Immediate rewards are tempting. And systems usually beat motivation. Understand dopamine, and modern life starts making a lot more sense.
Chapter 19. Final takeaway. The biggest lesson isn't that your brain is broken. It's that your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. The world changed. Your brain didn't. And once you understand that, a lot of your daily behavior starts making sense. You don't need perfect discipline. You don't need perfect motivation. You just need awareness. Because the more you understand your mind, the more control you have over where your attention goes. And that's a skill worth building. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's the strongest dopamine trap in your life right now? And if your answer is just one more video, congratulations! You understood the lesson perfectly.